Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for the session. What we're going to do is this. I'm going to put a branch of Christmas tree here on top, and then I'm going to have one bulb here and one bulb next to it. First, we're going to apply the small one. Start with opal blue. This paint is really creamy and very easily activated. Now the brush picked up some pigment, and we're going to put that paint over the rim of this little glass. And you don't have to be precise. It's okay if it has some missing points. It's totally fine. So I'm going to put it right here in the middle, almost, just slightly to the right. That's it. It's done. So here's your first bulb. And now, very important part. Since you cannot lift any excess paint from this paper, it's going to be absorbed immediately and it's permanent. So the most important thing is do not overpaint. You can add some paint, but you cannot remove the paint. So now, whatever paint is left on this brush, you're going to make just one mark here, here in the middle, and continue. And then so follow the contour. That's it. Maybe just a little bit like this. And then, while it's not completely dry, you can make it just a little bit hard edges to be removed. So you can use your wet brush to remove a little bit of this. So I'm going to put this, and because it is water-based, it will be very easy to clean your glasses. I'm going to put it just a little bit of overlapping. All right, and whatever is left on this brush, just move it here, move it there, and a little bit. So we are creating just highlights with this. So going back to Gem Pink, and because we already have this nice round shape created by the glass, it's easy to follow the contour. And then we can add a little bit of blue to it, so it can have some kind of blue reflection of that bulb behind, and it will make it really nice and pretty. So here I'm using this pearl pink because it's the shiniest pink and it creates nice highlights. The most important part here is restraint, and what I'm doing, I keep correcting things. Oh well, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I think you already know that's the issue that I need to work on, but maybe this is just my style. I'm going to just outline where the branch will go. Okay, so in here I'm using number 6, and the branch is going to go kind of like this. And now I'm going to start painting with this gem green. Okay. because needles are all basically the same size, but they don't have to be, and they overlap, so that's pretty good. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, look, the needles look kind of realistic. Nice. And of course, make them a little bit different, maybe sometimes, like making them a little longer, different size, so they can be looking more natural, right? And this is like it's really great mindfulness exercise, don't you think? I guess I always mention that when I create anything, it feels like this is perfect for stress reduction. Do you feel stressed from anything? Do you know one person who's not stressed? Lately especially. But, you know, that's life. We need to deal with that. Create something beautiful, don't you think? The most important thing in life is take care of yourself, take care of this planet, take care of those you love, and create something beautiful as much as you can. And it doesn't matter what it is. You can just paint Christmas cards. It doesn't have to be any kind of artistic endeavor. It can be anything. Organizing my closet. I see it as a creative gesture to make this world a better place. You know, anything. As long as you make it beautiful and someone feels good from that creation, like you feel good from that organizing, or definitely not consuming things. Consumption of anything, buying things, it's nice as long as we're going to use it. And look how this branch is coming alive. Yeah, very nice and bushy. Very healthy. Healthy and happy tree. It's very easy. Anyone can do it. You see that? Absolutely anyone. All you have to do is just use the right brush, get enough pigment on the brush, and start marking your paper. And then just like a very, very light stroke, so you can barely touch the paper, and then press very, very gently. That's it. Because it's easier to go it this way. Of course, I'm right-handed, and for left-handed it will be the opposite. But in general, I feel like it's easier to do it this way, like from left to right. So from outside into the branch, and then it creates the right shape of the needle. You see? It's lovely. It's so pretty. I think this is a pretty good branch. Now we want to make highlights with this Pearl May green. It creates more dimensional look. Let me show you again in a different light. You see, compare this branch that I already touched. I like to combine the look that is sort of realistic, but at the same time more stylized. And I think this looks really lovely, don't you? Next step, I will use this metallic marker to draw the top and the loop. So on both bulbs, if you want to see when I was practicing with those bulbs, it kind of looks cool. So if you try it, it's not that difficult. It looks like lots of work, but it's really very, very enjoyable work. Make a loop that the ribbon goes through. Now we prepared to paint a nice ribbon. The ribbon is going to be kind of the highlight of this piece, and I'm going to show you a couple of variations that I tried before, which here is my draft, and it's always fun to paint something with either with the small dagger brush, or I have one very long dagger, that black velvet silver. This is striper, and it's really long, and honestly at first I was super intimidated with the brush because you hardly have any control when you use it, and that's the fun part because you cannot control this brush that much. You can only rely on this kind of fluidity. It's extremely soft. So at first, let's practice a little bit, okay? So before you attempt, again, you don't have to use this brush. You can simply use any kind of round brush and use the golden paint and just paint the ribbon kind of over it. But this creates a really fun shape, and let me show you. But before attempting to use it, I would suggest to practice to create the shape that you want. Besides, I want to make the shape with the ribbon having a bow on top of the bulb. Okay, so let me show you something. So I've tried with the brush. Look how flexible it is. It is so soft and it is so long. It's amazing. Now I'm going to use yellow gold. So let's spray a little bit of water in yellow gold. Don't need that much. And this brush holds lots of water, and then look how it separates. Yeah, so it is partially natural. I didn't realize when I bought this brush, I thought it was synthetic completely, but it is not. So I dip it just a little bit, so like this, you see? And now look how extremely flexible this brush is. So when you press it just a little bit, you can create kind of very interesting shape. Isn't it beautiful? So now let me just touch the tip, the top. And this can be the ribbon. That's what I like about it. As if like this ribbon, and let's say this is the top of your bulb, okay? And then the ribbon comes out of it. So this. And then the ribbon is going to the side. Isn't that beautiful? So that's why this brush is very special. But it does take quite a bit of practice. But look how beautiful it makes, like this very narrow lines. Yeah, so practice before you attempt to do that. The only thing we can control just a little bit is the amount of water that it holds. Just after practicing, you realize how much water you need. I'm going to put the ribbon from here over this branch and comes down here. You see? And then it has this bow here, that and bow on this side. Look how beautiful it is. Yeah? And then add just a little more water and make sure it's not like dripping with water. And then touch it again, a little bit here and there. Okay. And wipe it against the edge, like if you just touch at the top of the brush. So now I'm doing this, and it's nice when it's just kind of like strange and kind of get lost in space. And then like this. I love it. See, it's so nice. And then that's another part of it. How does that look? I love it. And then from here, beautiful. Okay, here I will use white gold, and I will put it in a kind of slightly off center. And see, it looks pretty good. Maybe we should make like a snowflake.